Hey guys, welcome back. Today I thought we'd follow along the train of thought that we got started in our video titled Impact Weapons for Flash Knockouts. In that video I started off by telling you some of the cons of using a knife, and I didn't want to mislead you into thinking that knives suck. They really don't. For self-defense, I think that the knife is quite a formidable weapon. It carries a huge amount of psychological stopping power, in addition to quite a bit of physiological stopping power. We're going to address that in just a moment, but I wanted to touch up on a few things. First of all, understand, we're going to be talking about folding knives, in particular the ones that we're likely to be carrying. Guys, those aren't fighting knives, and what we're going to be discussing is really not knife fighting. We're going to be looking at using a folding knife as an improvised weapon for the purposes of our self-defense. Okay? A real fighting knife is a sword, okay, or at least something that's substantially larger than a common folder. Now, if you're going to be participating in training, in defensive knife training, understand you probably should have the appropriate training tools. A facsimile of your knife that's as close as possible to the knife that you carry is a smart thing to have. I regularly carry my Endura, so I went ahead and I purchased an Endura trainer. Additionally, I have another trainer that's more suitable for impact. If the knife that you have, if the company doesn't produce a trainer for it, you might want to consider purchasing two of the same knife and grinding one down into a trainer, which is what Josh did. He carries this Kershaw, so he went ahead and made a Kershaw trainer. He rounded off the point and took the edge off. There's no edge on this thing. Safety first, guys. Additionally, he's got a trainer that he can do more impact with. Okay, that's very, very important. Okay guys, let's take it to the floor and do some training. Okay, so here we are back on the mats over at Beach Martial Arts, the home of the Miami Arnis group. That's my martial arts training group. Yeah, if you haven't checked out that YouTube channel, Miami Arnis group, check it out. There's a lot more knife stuff on it. I wanted to give you a real quickie, down and dirty idea about how to use the knife. The key strength of using a knife for self-defense is that it has huge psychological stopping power. The thought of getting slashed or stabbed, particularly in a vital organ, or on your face or near the eyes, is extremely terrifying. And we want to capitalize on that. So when you're using the knife, if I had 2 minutes to teach you how to use a knife for self-defense, I would say stab and slash the face. We're hedging the psychological stopping power that way. Okay. We're also coupling it with the very real potential of physiological stopping power as well. If I poke you in the eye, chances are you're not going to see me very well, and that's very powerful. If I get enough blood pouring across your face and it obscures your vision, that's pretty cool too. And the whole time my opponent's going to be worried about being disfigured or blinded. They're probably not going to stay there too long, and that's where the real advantage of the knife is. So if I had 2 minutes to teach you how to defend yourself with a knife, I would say take the knife and stab him in the face. Now, it's not that simple, guys. We need to understand how the knife that we're carrying is going to interact with our target. This Endura is not particularly well suited for thrusting. It's obviously a folding knife, and I could compromise the lock. If I have a lot of faith in the lock, then that may not be an issue. This particular knife, it's a great knife. I use it for all types of stuff. I've killed many boxes with it, but I really wouldn't stab with it. So it's a question of, can your knife support what you're going to do? So I'm going to give you two options. Another thing to consider is that while the lock may be very sturdy, there may not be enough of a purchase here to prevent this knife from sliding through your hand. So the two techniques that I'm going to advocate are thrust to the face, if your knife can support it, and in the event that it can't, then we're going to slash towards the face. I prefer the thrusting in terms of ease of use, but obviously if the Endura is not going to support it, then I'd have to use the next best thing. Slashing the face, very terrifying. Some real good psychological stopping power there, guys. It's like running a blender into the guy's face. They don't want to be there. So chances are they're going to move away from it. If you're demonstrative and aggressive and you show gameness, this is probably going to take a lot of the fight out of your opponent. I got Jovan here to help me. I'm going to show you a couple of things. Now guys, obviously if I'm using a knife for self-defense, he's presenting some type of a lethal force threat. He could have a weapon of his own. He could have a bunch of people with him. I may be in a disadvantaged position. Maybe I'm injured, maybe I'm handicapped, maybe I'm a lot smaller than him. There's any number of reasons why this may be happening. It's important that you understand that you need to understand how the law applies to you. That's on you. Please refer to our video, Big Boy Rules Apply. This is very important. Don't get yourselves in trouble. So I'm going to use this larger knife for ease of, so you can see this more easily. Watch what happens to his face when I thrust at him. Okay? If this makes contacts with the bones in his face, it's probably going to move him backward as well. So that's an additional edge that we're, pun intended, that we're getting. Now, he's not just going to let me do that. So anything that comes in my way, I'm going to swipe at it, either with my knife or with my hands. If he comes in with his hand, and then I go for the face. If the other hand comes in, then I go for the face. If what I'm using is slashing, he punches at me, I slash towards the face. He comes at me there, and I slash towards the face. Guys, I'm trying not to get off from the area that the camera is getting, so I'm not using a whole lot of footwork. But I take the fight to him very aggressively and very demonstratively, because it's in that body language, in that aggression of my motion, in my facial expression, in my movement forward, in that aggressive posturing, that he's going to feel and see the terror that I'm presenting. Okay, keep in mind that as humans, we don't have fangs or claws or any real bodily corporal weapons. But we take this, and now all of a sudden we're a saber-toothed tiger. We want to take the fight right to him. So if I had 2 minutes to teach you how to defend yourself with a knife, my first advice is attack the face. Okay, attack the face. Anything that gets in the way is a opportunistic target. So if that hand comes in, cut the hand, attack the face. If that hand comes in, move it out of the way, and then attack the face. The attack to the face should be your primary technique if all I had was 2 minutes to teach you. Guys, I hope you got some good ideas from this. If you want to see more elaborate knife work, please feel free to check out our other channel. I'm going to put the link below so that you can access it easily. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Remember, our videos come out every Tuesday. Until next time, take care.